So the director of Kingdom Come Deliverance had some really interesting things to say about Critical Drinker and Asmongold and how video game developers really feel about them. So shout out to Bounding into Comics who found this. It's originally from an interview that was all done in Czech. So a lot of us that speak English obviously didn't pick up on it. Asmongold did, though. He found it from somebody in his Reddit. And it's a really interesting... We're going to watch his video response in a minute, but it's really interesting. So Kingdom Come Deliverance is getting a sequel, first off. Actually looking forward to that game quite a bit. I hope it's awesome. I think it will be. This guy, David Vara, the guy who put this game out, man, this game got so much crap when it came out. If you've never heard about this story, you should really look into it. He got a lot of crap because he just wanted to keep this game historically accurate. And he pushed back, and the game did really, really well. Obviously, I mean, that's why it's getting a number 2. But during this interview, he said some really interesting things, like the fact that AAA studios are really terrified of internet critics, and 2 of them got named, Asmongold and the Critical Drinker. When somebody starts to critique the game and the corporate world, it does have an impact. I'm not shocked by that. Well, actually, let me take that back. A little. I was a little. Because, you know, when it comes to like Star Wars, I know Lucasfilm is watching all of the heat that they get. But video game studios, I mean, video games are the biggest medium right now, hands down. They make the most money when they're successful anyway. But they're also the most expensive to make. So it's kind of a gamble now, especially if you go AAA. Because, well, you spend so much money on these games, and if they fail, I mean, it's catastrophic. There's some interesting stuff going on with Assassin's Creed Shadows, by the way. Look forward to a video later. But that game, for example, tons of heat. Now, I know that they're sitting there sweating, and they're really worried about what people are going to say about that game, and I don't think it's going to be good. So, yeah, I think, 100% Asmongold, Critical Drinker, the biggest. Asmongold has a huge platform, and when he talks, people listen, and it's the same with Critical Drinker. A Critical Drinker, though, focuses more on Hollywood. Asmongold kind of focuses more on video games, though he covers all kinds of shit. Like, it's not just video games. Like, he covers everything. But, yeah, they have 2 huge platforms, and they articulate very well, and people listen to them. Critical Drinker has been making massive waves. For example, he's had big interviews on his channel. The mainstream has knocked on his door. Same with Nerdrotic. Like, they're getting more validated every day. And I think it's a good thing. Because guess what? Companies are listening to them. And this should, if you were black-pilled, like things like this can help bring you back a little bit. Because I do think the tide is turning big time. I think people are fed up with this shit. And you see more and more of this every day. But let's take a look and see what was actually said. So, Dan Vara went on this podcast. I don't know what the name of it is. This is it right here. I'll just show you guys if you want to. So it's under VOX News. I think this guy just clipped it, though. I don't know. But either way, let's take a look at this clip. So I've changed it to auto-translate. So keep in mind, this might not be 100% translated, but for the most part, it actually does a pretty good job. So let's take a look at this.
Hele, já jsem i slyšel, že oni fakt mají hrůzu z těch jako hate-tuberů, řekněme.
So I have also heard that they are really afraid of those like hubers. What he actually says there, and in the article, it says hate tubers. Now, I don't think he's calling people like oh, you're hate tubers. I think he's just saying what the developers told him. I don't think he's saying hate tubers. But I just wanted to clear that up.
Takový ty borci, co jako vlastně začali takový critical drinksy a různý takovýhle lidi, Asmongold a tak, který vlastně...
Oh, this is so messed up. Yeah, I can't... Those translations suck. So let's just read what it has here. So, flying under the radar in English-speaking circles due to the fact that the discussion took place entirely in Czech, a video of his appearance was recently shared to the Asmongold Reddit community, where it was picked up by the YouTuber and shared during one of his live streams. Per a translation of... What is this? Pause that. Per a translation of the interview provided by Reddit user, this guy right here, following a discussion about the long-awaited and soon-to-release Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Vavra told his host, listen, I've even heard that their big developer companies are really scared of hate tubers. Let's say the kind of guys like the Critical Drinker, Asmongold, and others who started criticizing big companies. I thought it was so niche, he explained. Okay, he's Asmongold, got like a few million followers. His videos have some impact, but it's definitely not what everybody is watching. And now I found out from some people that companies are really terrified of them, and it's really having an impact. That when somebody starts to critique the game in the corporate world, that it does have an impact. Turning to offer his own critiques of the industry, he asserted that it's unsustainable how these corporations do it, considering that they've now made games that nobody wanted, and they even said it. When those gamers started complaining that they didn't like it and they didn't want that kind of game, the developers started telling them they were stupid and that it wasn't a game for them, which is completely bizarre that you're insulting your own customers. And then goes on to talk about Asmongold's thoughts on it and that he considers it a great responsibility, that he used his influence responsibility. And I think, for the most part, he does. I think Asmongold's a really good reactor. But, yeah, this isn't a shock to me, but I know it will be for some people. And I wonder, to what extent is that influence there, right? Because I kind of agree with David that not everybody's watching it, but it's not so much about the people that watch it. It's about what the people who watch it say to other people, because that's what really starts things is word of mouth. And you've got, in some cases, millions of people watching, and I'm talking about combined, right? Between Asmongold, Critical Drinker. Because think about it. When a news cycle hits, a lot of people will cover something. So you're talking about millions of people, especially when you start to take in, everybody that is like fellowship adjacent, 199. It's a huge community. But it is wild to think like these, in some cases, billion-dollar corporations are sitting down and watching this content and seeing what people have to say. It wasn't like this. It wasn't like this before, like 2 years ago. But you're seeing the change, and it's going to continue to change. I think it's fantastic. So more and more confirmation that change is coming. I think by 2027, all this nonsense is in the rear view. I mean, look at what's going on, and I hate to really touch on. There's the big fires in California. It's awful what's going on, and I feel bad for everybody, losing their homes and all this stuff. No matter, everything aside, it's an awful thing. But you're really seeing, and here's like the one good thing about what's going on with that, and it's small compared to everybody losing their stuff, and my heart's out to that. But look what's going on. Like, all kinds of shit is coming to the forefront from that. Like the fact that the fire department was heavy onto DEI. They wanted to hire more women than men, and like white men were turned down. Adam Carolla, a clip of him is going around how like when he was young and looking for a job, he applied at the fire department, and they told him, "We'll see you in 7 years." And he talked to some lady who was black and asked her, "When did you apply?" And she was like, 2 days ago. And then you see headlines saying that there's not enough firefighters in LA. Why is that? Probably because you were turning everybody away, because you were looking for your multiple checkbox firefighter, celebrating that like the fire chief is a gay woman. Like, I would rather celebrate a fire chief that has like 100 lives saved under their belt or something than who they're banging. All of this shit is coming out from that. Like, everybody's roasting that fire department, Californian policies. Like, this, all of this stuff is coming out, and people are paying attention. Like, this is probably going to be the last year of a lot of this nonsense. And they're going to try to come back. This will not completely go away, but this is a huge win. All these are ideological wins. Because normies, all these people, they're seeing all of this stuff now. So it's something. So let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comments. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.